Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today. We are here using the September Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat Kids, and this one is entitled Peace and Presence. The devotion is written by Andrea Lucado, and this is just such a powerful topic, especially right now for me. The key verse is from John 14:27. Talks about the peace that Jesus gives us. It's not a peace that is of this world, but the peace that only Jesus can give. It's got a lot of verses that we can study, and it just leaves us here with this thought that Jesus is giving us a peace even in our darkest times, a peace that only He can give. And then it's got some reflection questions. Here is the devotional backing that's very pretty. Here's the decor sticker sheet. See how those flowers, those little floral pieces match. It's got these doves that represent peace. The word fetty this month, they're not in the typical rectangles. They are kind of cut out shapes. And then here are the alpha stickers. They are lowercase, and I just love these kind of bubble letter looking this font. Here's the stamp set, and again it's got this hand-drawn look to the dove. It's got these floral pieces. It's got the cursive font for the word Jesus and peace and some other words. And then we've got the jumbo bow clip. I'm going to be using some of the pigment inks today, and we're going to be making a simple page. I'm here in the book of Mark, chapter 4, and the passage is actually not one that it talks about in the devotional, but it is one that really applies to me today. I'm going to be making a hurricane scene, a storm scene, because I am here in Florida, and depending on the track that Hurricane Dorian takes, and because I have to make this video a few days ahead of time, we are just in a wait and see pattern. So I'm either in the line of fire for the hurricane, or my parents are. So they are in Georgia. So we're just waiting to see what happens. So peace in the storm. This is the passage where Jesus calms the storm. So I'm taking these three colors, Denim, and then Mermaid Teal, and then this is Powderpuff Blue. And I just use a baby wipe, and I simply pick some up with my baby wipe and then swirl it in a circular motion. That's all there is to it. So simple, and it makes a very pretty effect. Now this isn't quite the look of a hurricane, but it does give that effect. My son said I should throw some yellow and red and green in there to make it look like the radar, but I didn't want to do all that. I really just wanted just to have kind of the blue, almost a peaceful look, but just to give me the impression of a storm. Now these are pigment inks, so they do sit up on top of the page a little bit. They stay a little bit wet, so I do need to dry them a bit with my heat tool. Because that's all I'm going to do on my page, just that bottom left hand corner, I'm going to add some black splatter paint with just a damp wet paintbrush, and then a little bit of black paint. You can see this does not bleed through the back of the page. Pigment inks do not bleed through, but I do dry it because again it's a pigment ink and that stays wet a little bit longer. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull out some of the stickers from the decor sticker sheets and my alpha tiles, my alpha stickers. That's all I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to do any stamping today. So this passage in chapter 4 of the book of Mark, it's talking about where the disciples are out fishing and Jesus is in the boat with them, and he's sleeping and they're fishing, and it says in verse 37, a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking over the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. He was asleep, so they woke him and said, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to die?" And he got up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Silence, be still, be still." The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Then he said to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Jesus calms the storm. He gives us peace in the storm. And that is true when we're talking about a physical storm. It's true when we're talking about the metaphorical storms in our lives. So here what I'm doing on the screen is I'm using some of the decor sticker sheets. I spelled out the word storm, and I am outlining that because the blue stickers, the blue letters, are kind of hard to see on the blue circular storm that I made. So when I outline them, it will make them pop out. I started first with a finer point, a 0.20, and then I came back in with a 0.35. And then so I write "in the peace in the storm." Now I do take some of that ink that is still on my baby wipe, and I just scrape the edge of my stickers. Now if you'll notice, I'm doing the rule of threes. So I'm writing on my label here, Hurricane Dorian 9/3/19, because that's the date that this video goes live. And that's kind of the date that, depending on what happens and if the storm shifts, whatever's going to happen here in Florida. So you also saw me doing the same thing, doing that circular pattern over on the cardstock. That is so that I could make a tab and just punch that out. And I'm using one of the word fetties there. And now I'm taking a heart and putting that also there on the tab. But here's where that rule of three applies. So I put 3 white pieces down there in the storm, because you need 3 just to balance out the eye. And now here, that little heart, the circle with the heart on the inside, I was able to punch the heart out, and then by placing that little heart up on the tab, that gave me 3 elements up on the tab. And that's just more aesthetically pleasing, more balancing. And then here I was able to place 3 hearts on and in a triangular pattern down here to balance out all of the elements down here in the focal point, in the big circle, the storm, if you will. So that little heart right by the dove, the heart with the circle with the heart in the center, and then the little heart circle down by the tab. Now I'm putting a little bit of washi tape, some grid washi tape, up there to anchor my label. And that is some from Illustrated Faith. It's currently sold out, but I have linked it, and also just a Google search for some grid washi tape. Any washi tape will do, but I did like that color. So I did my journaling off screen, but you can see that in the still shots. So that's going to be it for my page. Very simple page, but it was very powerful for me to journal this. It was just what I needed, as I needed God's peace. I pray that you'll find God's peace. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. I do have all of the products linked that I've used, so check out those in the description box. Make sure to check out this faith art box for this month, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, and God bless.